separated into logical piles then. Yeah. Okay.
You wanted to spread them out?
Because this is the career promotion stuff. Thank you. Somebody kind of gave it to me in batches.
Table 2 and table 20 can make their way up. Table 1 and table 11. We've got 2, 4, about 7.
7 more?
Yeah. I just didn't want it to like I don't. Sorry. I go by the moon. Just kidding. I go by my kids. Yeah. That's our state. Yeah, the manager just added how many tables there were. So I think he was just trying to gauge. I'm starving. I'm starting to shake. Are you like hungry? You should eat some fruit or you should eat some protein. Some cheese. Table 2. That's okay. I already did. Table 18 and table 17. Table 15 and 16. Table 5 and 7 and 8.
It doesn't happen often. Could I have that on the recording? I think I had to tell you that, didn't I? It's like, wasn't that one of the changes that I?
Oh, no, that was for later.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where it is.
Yes, you are.
Excuse me, if I could have your attention, please. Good afternoon, Ken. I'm fine, you? Thank you so much. If I could just ask you all, this morning earlier when I asked you to join with me in thanking the hotel staff, it was actually pretty premature, but now that we have had lunch and a taste of all their services, if I could ask you to give them a round of applause, please, to the hotel and staff. Thank you. So if you want to check your agendas, please. For the afternoon, we have a number of concurrent sessions, 3 of them going on at 3 separate times. The ones that are scheduled to start at 1 o'clock are trades and transferable skills in mining, and that will be in this room, in the Kaministiquia room. And so if that is the topic of your interest, please stay where you are. For those of you attending the Women in Mining session, that is situated in the Pointe de Muron room on the upper level. And the First Nations, Métis, and Mining session is being held in the Mackenzie Room A, also on the upper level. So if I could have you start gathering all of your papers and that and going to your next session, that would be great, so we can all start on time. Thank you, and we'll see you later. Oh, but also, please note the second sessions that start at 1:55. You'll also have to proceed there directly after the first session, so also make note of that one. All right, and then we'll have a scheduled break after 2 sessions this afternoon. So the break should start at around 2:40 in the afternoon, and that's when I'll see you again. Take care.
right, thank you. Just upstairs.
If you want to come with me, I'll introduce you to somebody.
No, I am. I'm on the chef. Yeah, he's busy talking. What is young Noreen doing now? Oh, he is. Are you cutting wood? The rest is all the rest are gone.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get our 1 o'clock workshop underway. We're running a little bit behind. So if everyone would like to grab a seat, this is the Trades and Transferable Skills in Mining workshop. So our speakers for this workshop will be John Hatton, who is the Director of Training and Development at Confederation College. And we also have Deborah McCloskey and Craig McIntosh from the Ministry of Training, Colleges and Universities speaking about apprenticeship. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome John Hatton.
Good afternoon, and we'll slowly trickle in. Just relax. If you want to grab an extra dessert, you go right ahead. As introduced from Confederation College, and what I'm going to do is kind of two parts to the presentation. One is what we're trying to do with trades and transferable type skills in relation to the mining industry. I'll show you kind of our model, but then I'm just going to give you examples of what we do. And I think that's going to complement a lot of the things that we're talking about this morning, and it's really nice to see the companies involved and some of the partnerships we have, et cetera. So I'm just going to go through it. If anyone wants to stop me halfway through to ask a question, you're more than welcome to. Try to make this informal. Again, if you want to grab a coffee in the midst, go right ahead. So, as I said, it's all about trades and transferable skills in mining. Get this little guy working again. Do it by hand. So if you see what we're doing, you know, as an organization, the college does two major things. One's our post-secondary programs, the typical semester-based programs. But what our department does is customized training and educational solutions for business and industry, basically. So that's what we do. And again, we try to be reactive, work quickly with whether it be communities, companies, etc., to do that kind of stuff. So the other thing is we look at workforce development as community development. And these are some of the elements that we look at, that it's part of the economic development plan. We look at environmentally responsible approaches. We don't want to support things that go against some of our values around working with on traditional lands or against environmental principles. We work with communities, and we always look at this as a partner. We can't come in and give things that we think people want. We have to talk to the communities and have to talk to the companies. So that's really paramount in anything we do. And the other thing we look at is education is not dead-ended. Education isn't taking one course, going into the workforce and working for 20 years. It's a continuous learning model where you have to look at where does anything lead to. So we try to ladder our programs. If you're starting in something like a basic line cutting or drilling, where can that go? Where can you evolve to get to work in the field in a more developed area? The other thing we look at, and I'll just go through this quickly, is the idea of a model. We are a job-centered model. In other words, we do not want to do training unless there are jobs involved. It's really silly for people to go through school. Those who have children or spouses that want to get in, you don't want them to pay money, take time to take training, and then not have anything at the end of the road. The first thing you can see on this corner, we cannot do any kind of training unless we know what the employers need. And this was mentioned earlier, and Madge was talking about it in the MIR presentation about partnerships with employers. We talk to employers, and that's very difficult sometimes because they've got their jobs to run. But we try to make sure they know who we are and vice versa so that we can develop programs that meet their training needs. When you get into a job, they'll say, yeah, you guys can do what we want you to do on the job. So that's critical. So we have employer needs, also the assessment process. When Jason talked this morning from our diamond drilling course, one of the things we do with that is before someone gets into a program, we make sure they know what they're getting into. And everyone hears about diamond drilling. And they think, well, I'm going to make big bucks, I'm going to get out and be successful. Well, as Barb Court said, it's not as easy as that. You know, I think she scared everyone away from diamond drilling with her stuff, but that's the reality of the job. It's a difficult job. The rewards are there. Some people like it, some people don't. So assessment is critical, and I can remember interviewing Jason. He did excellent as far as, you know, he had some great work experience, and he had some excellent motivation. He had a family, he wanted to make some money, he didn't like his present career. So he was a prime candidate. So his assessment turned out very well, his academic credentials were good, he got into the career and did very well. And obviously everyone's not going to become a full driller in a year and a half. It takes usually 2 to 3 years. But Jason, again, because of the skill sets he had, was a great role model for us. So assessment is important, and then we look at the whole idea of preparation. If people are not fully prepared, then we might look at some foundational skills, such as academics as far as math and English, some safety training, etc. And then, and only then, do we do the training for the skills, whether it be underground mining, etc. So that's our model, and it comes around the circle of make sure we're culturally aware, there's pride and respect, academic excellence, etc. Because an employer doesn't care where you're from. They only care about the job you do. So it's really important to have all those aspects. So that's the model, okay? Principles, partnerships, I mentioned that, needs-based, corporate social responsibility. In other words, we make sure when people make money, they use it appropriately within their communities, etc. Pathways, etc., right person for the right job, and the need for foundations. Foundations simply means to us is that when someone gets into a course, it's not just learning how to handle a drill bit or a heater or a pump. It's understanding that